Hello and welcome to Tacen in Slovenia, ICF Slalom World Cup 4 of the 2018 season. Athletes from all over the world have been competing in the last few days for the right to make it to the final. We're now down to the top 10 athletes in each category. Earlier today we saw the semi-final. It's been whittled down to the top 10. This is a picture of the legendary first drop. Tacen, as I say, is a wonderful course. I'm Matthew Layton. I'm going to talk you through the action. I also have top paddlers with me to really give you the insight of how everything works. Ethan Hodgson from Australia is going to be with me today. You've been on this water, you know how it feels, and today you're going to talk us through the action. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. Yeah, it's a very technical course out here today, a really tough course for the final. Very important that the competitors stay composed. The water's quite technical in that it actually changes and fluctuates quite a lot. So you'll notice a lot of paddlers having to adapt what they're doing during the final. Not everything's going to be perfect, and it's going to be who's able to adapt on this course today that's actually going to come out on top.
These are the standings. So there's 5 World Cups in the series this season, and we've had 3 so far. So Alexander Slavkovsky, on a point system where you have 60 for first, 55 for second, is leading closely behind Silvius Tasiadis, with Ryan Wesley, who's not competing today, in 3rd position at the moment. This just shows how consistent these top athletes are. The start of the C1 men's final. This is the reverse order. They finished in the semi-final about an hour and a half ago, so they are all familiar with the conditions. What we need to note is Slovenia have 4 athletes in the final. Slavkovsky and Martikan are making up the numbers for Slovakia, and there's also pretty much top athletes sneaking in there. We do have for France. It's going to be interesting to see how Nicolas Gestin comes through. He managed to knock out his compatriot Denis Gago-Canoe. There's a good crowd here. They're used to the conditions. They've taken their jackets off. For the first time in about 6 hours, it's actually stopped raining. The conditions are pretty much winterish. We were just talking that Ethan's been here for the last month or so in Europe, and it's been wonderful conditions. Franz Anton is a top paddler, C2. He has done amazing things. Also a medalist in the World Championships in the C1 for Germany. Let's see him how to go. This is Deep Creek, by the way, 4 years ago now. So he saw him in the semi-final. He was light and he did some really whipping moves.
Yeah, he looks a lot more settled in this run. In his semi-final run, he just looked a little bit rushed, but he started this run very, very well, picking up that wave very nicely. I'm liking the way he's looking, actually. He's ducking under 7. Very, very strong start. I assume he's going to post a very good top split.
So the great thing about these games are that all the athletes have really had lots of opportunities to video analysis with their team and say, well, should have a plan A and a plan B.
Exactly. He's opted for the double spin there, so you'll see the righties do a spin on that gate 10 and then also 11. He's coming down to this bottom section, which we saw was very, very important, that they're able to keep composed in the bottom. There's a lot of time actually from 14 into this stagger section here. So what you want to look for is he's ducked off the poles there, that he stays very high into this up 19 and keeping the bow in close contact, the bow being the front of the boat.
And there we've seen some very shallow water that some athletes have struggled with, but so far Franz Anton is putting together a really cracking run.
Yeah, this will be a hard time to beat. I imagine it's going to stay up there in contention, opting for that right line down there. Reasonably clean, good sprint to the end. That's a 1:04, which is a very, very strong time.
That was comparable with the best times, and he looks delighted. Well done, Franz Anton.
Yeah, I think I'd expect that to be in medal contention going off those first run times.
Well done. Managed to cope with the external conditions and put down a run I think he's going to be proud of.
Very pleased with that run.
So a mix of locals, families and friends have turned out today. It really is quite flagrant how much the temperature's really dropped in the last 2 days. It's good for the water level though, however.
Good for the water level. I wish we had it a week ago, and we were not sure if we were going to actually have training on the course prior to the World Cup, but the water arrived. Everyone was able to adjust to the course and get the training in, but would have been nice the other way around with some warmer weather towards the end of the week.
Hats off to the lifesavers. They haven't been used much, but they're out there all day. Now, Luka Bozic, local boy, knows how to cope with the pressure. Incredibly strong athlete and good to watch.
Yeah, I'd expect him to be definitely in the top 5 in this final. All the Slovenians have looked great on the water in training all week. And
they have a choice, don't they, when they go over the first lip? They can. What's the choice?
So the choice is either down the left side of the drop or the right side of the drop. Some of the Slovenians are opting for the left. The right does look a little bit quicker if you can stay on the right line. It's quite a precise line to get. Very important here, you can see Luka just got caught up slightly on the stopper there, which is costing him a little bit of time. You want to be very clean through that jump and stay on top of the water. Looks like he not quite on the run that he wants at the moment. It's solid, but I think Franz is looking better up in this top section, which is reflected in the split here.
And clearly with the speaker who's actually just sitting next to us, the crowd and the athletes know exactly where they are. 3.8 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of work to do here. There's not a whole lot he can do. Oh, just getting back into the gate 13 there. You've got to keep the boat very, very flat and be subtle with your edges through that section. So he's gone for the punt, so pushing off the wall there, which is a faster exit, but he's got a lot of work to do in this bottom
made up
section.
0.6 of a second.
Yeah. So if he can duck off these poles here, he's opted for the spin there so he can stay high into the upright at the bottom here, gate 19, which he's done reasonably well.
Keeping the pace up nicely.
Oh,
he's stuck there though.
Yeah, those are the rocks. They've come back into play again.
That's pushed him out of the medals.
Oh, and he's in.
Can Luka up he come. Well, absolute nightmare bottom section.
Yeah, I think
he wasn't going for 4th or 5th place, was he?
He didn't actually look like he was on the right run from the beginning. He just didn't quite look himself from what he looked like in qualification. And as you said, that bottom section just all fell apart.
Well, everyone has their favourites, but for the Slovenians, they have four chances to cheer on their compatriots. Anze Berčić next to go, 27 years old. Look at that. Just the strength to pull himself up straight away, but by then it was too late.
Yeah, it was all over in that bottom section. He's very nasty, very shallow, so good to see him get out of that roll without any issues hitting the bottom. So yeah, he will be disappointed though.
There's Benson Lukasi, the older brother of Ballant, always supplying a wonderful service here. Deep breath. Can he put it down when it matters? Good athletic paddler.
I think all the Slovenians are looking good in the course at the moment, and evident in them all making it through. Opted for the left-hand line, very clean, right up next to the wall there. Beautiful into the first up, very, very quick, nice exit. He looks relaxed. You can see in his body language, he's not rushed at all. A little bit held, but that's okay. He's going to come in and do the direct option, which I think is the first direct we've seen today in C1 men on that top section. So we'll see if that direct option is paid off as he comes in through to this turn here.
Just shows how remarkable Franz Anton did. Really lay something down.
Yeah, he looked very, very good throughout his entire run, but I have a feeling that there's a little bit more to give here on the bottom. He's looking quite measured at the moment. Now this is where he should be kicking it up a gear right now out of this up 14, opting for the punt. This is where he'll need to dig very, very deep to get up on the Franz Anton. So he's just down. He's got back a little bit of time. So we go for the spin.
Ethan Hodson, what can you see? Can you see him able to take any time out of the last section?
I think he's lost it there in that 19 move. He was a little bit slow. He's going to have to be very, very tight here, which he's done. And just a little bit bogged down on the front of the boat there. I don't think he's going to quite match Franz.
No. So he really had to battle through. 3 athletes gone. 7 to go. Tacen 2018, 4th ICF Slalom World Cup of the season. These athletes were down 2 hours ago with a very competitive semi-final. All the 4 Slovenians came through. Michael Martican was one of the first athletes to go in his distinctively coloured red boat, and he put down a would you say a very safe run?
Yeah, I think very standard of Martican. Calculated, measured. He didn't do anything he didn't have to do, and he paddled to what he had to do for the final. He's been there so many times, he knows exactly what he has to deliver, so I'd expect him to step it up another gear.
So we had Martican, true legend of the sport, as everyone keeps saying, and also speaking to him quite recently, really loves the moment. Great competitor, here he is in the zone. Often they come from river right to go there, but this time the advertising boards, they come in from river left, and it's straight over pretty much.
Yeah, it's a big drop into here, and he's opted for the right line. He's going to make sure he's stayed up perfectly on top of the water there.
Well, that's what you want to do, isn't it?
Exactly what you want to do. So the amount of speed that you get off on that right line is quite good. It's hard to tell which is the fastest, but I'm edging towards that right line that Martican has taken. Is just a little bit quicker.
So far, he looks faultless.
Yeah, and he's gone the direct on the 4, picked up the wave very nicely. A little bit of time on that wave. It'll be close between himself and Franz. So 1-8. Opted for the spin on 11. Clean through 12, that looks good.
Coming below us now, very much in control, but as we saw, he's 1.8 seconds off the pace. Crucially, Franz Anton was clear. That's good.
He's opted for the above the rock line, which is that rock going into the upright. A little bit different to some of the others. He looks like he's really feeling it on that bottom section. You can see the grimace on his face, gritting his teeth in the bottom section here, and he's low into 19. I think he's going to be off the pace on this one.
It's relentless, isn't it? There's nowhere to breathe.
It's a very physical course, a lot of holding. You might not, yeah, he's a little bit down there.
No emotion. And there's an asterisk next to his name. So 4 athletes have gone. Franz Anton is looking good so far.
Yeah, it'll be a tough time to beat, 1:04.29. That's an impressive time. But
so where did Martican lose it?
He definitely lost it in that bottom section through the stagger and into the 19. I think at the top, there was a little bit out of 4 between 4 and 5, just sort of chasing it out on that wave. I thought he was a little bit slow there, where Franz seemed to be a lot more smoother in that transition on the turn from 4 to 5.
So I think you can see the top 3, and normally they look quite happy. Peter Kauser, who we're going to see on the stage tomorrow.
Yeah, I imagine there's going to be a big crowd to watch him in the finals tomorrow. Hopefully he can get through to the final.
Vast experience, Greta Hedvig, he's not going to feel the pressure. So far they seem to have taken similar lines to last time.
So opting the left line, looking really good there. nice turn, absolutely whipped it through that first up, but he's got on the front of the boat, which has picked up his bow and pushed it down. He's a little bit low into 2. Okay, that's pretty quick. He's gone for what they call the bogey, so down through the gate and then up around the outside pole. Very, very solid start. Apart from just launched himself over that rock there. Not exactly what you want to do. I think it's let him a bit.
So he's 3.46 seconds off the pace. This course, which was first run in 1939, converted, concreted up in 1990. Every couple of years, they always had a 2-second penalty. They had some improvements. We had challenges a couple of years ago with new concrete in the bottom. And so far in the last few days, it's holding together. C1 men's final.
He's got any chance, he's going to have to absolutely nail everything from this point onwards. He's 4.6 seconds down. His tail's just hit the bottom. That's not what you want.
Martin in third position was 2.86 place, so it's not going to happen, unfortunately, for Greg today.
Double spin there. That's not what you want. Not too bad in there, but you can see he's hitting his paddle in the bottom of 19. Just a little bit. I think the run's just been a little bit scrappy to the standard of the final. Just coming undone on those last drops down there. And he's definitely out of contention.
No.
Does not look happy with that run at all.
There's Ben Haywood with friend. Bit disappointed, hasn't got his Hobbit van with him. He has a slight mechanical problem with one of the fuel pumps, I believe. So he's actually able to stay in a hotel this time, but he's a great athlete, great architect as well.
Yeah.
Check out his small home project. And he looked good yesterday, Ben, so he's through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, he's looking very good. He's a busy guy, a very busy guy. He's always working through his projects, like you mentioned, the Hobbit van, his mini home, which you should go check out. It's very impressive, and he's been impressive with the water this weekend so far.
Well, he said he likes it because it's wild, a bit like himself. Anyway, let's get back to the action. Next to Gay is... Are we going to hear, I wonder? So seeing some great slow-mo shots. The never complaining camera crew on the riverside, 12 hours a day, giving you some great slow-mo shots. And Freddie shouting out in the background, "We will rock you," and it's certainly the emotion we have here today. All the action is on riverbank right, so you don't see it in the cameras, but there's lots of people standing in. Interview time. Let's hear from Franz Anton.
We're 5 athletes down, 5 to come, and the current leader is Germany's Franz Anton. And Franz, you've never won a World Cup gold medal. Could today be the day?
It could be, I hope so.
How did you feel about your run?
I'm just happy that I have reached the final, and in the last 8 weeks I could train really well, and now I'm happy that I can show it in the final.
Well, best of luck. 5 to go. Keep your fingers crossed.
So Franz Anton there, telling us how he feels. Desmond Schoenberg there, preparing mentally for what's going to happen in about half an hour's time. So we've had all sorts of adventures here the last few years. It's often been stunningly hot weather. I know a few years ago, commentating with your mate and compatriot Robbie, we had a water level change and it had to all start again.
Yeah, this course is known for being a bit wild.
And then 2 years ago, which was it was the last World Cup of the season, there was challenges, so it ended under the bridge. But Sidiris Tasiadis with number 1, which means he's the top dog this year.
Down that left line. very smooth and consistent down there. Great start to the course. Oh, he's picked that up beautifully. He's opted for the bogey up around the outside pole just to give himself that extra height so he can just come down with more speed through 5 and 6, which will allow him to really attack into this up. And I think this is a really good start. Not sure how that bogey will affect his time, but he looks like he's on par, just a little bit down, a little bit held up in 10.
But as we see, he's only 900ths off the pace here.
Yeah, and as we said before, these Germans are very, very, very fit athletes, well known on the circuit for enduring a pretty tough regime.
Well, Augsburg, obviously, the ice canal, wonderful, but in its own way, this is one of the most spectacular, enjoyable places to come to. And still, well, he's turned it around. He's 9/10ths up now.
Yeah, he's looking good. Opted for the spin as the lefty there, so it's a bit easy to get into 19. A little bit of time in there. It's going to come down to this up and then the jump at the finish if he's going to be able to challenge Franz Anton. This is going to be close.
Really close. Looks like he's going to go in the lead. Well, Germany to Germany. Really nailed the run.
Yeah, 2 from 2 at the moment. They're looking very good. Obviously, coach and athlete have a very good game plan on this course. They really picked their moments, both of them, to accelerate, and Sidiris is coming out on top, paddling that bottom section out a little bit stronger than Franz. He looks happy with that run.
So the last 3 or 4 years, he's always there or thereabouts, isn't he?
Yeah, he's always up there. He's always been consistent from the junior ranks all the way through to 23s and seniors.
And we go to another Slovenian, Jurij Lenarčič. Let's see how he can go. So far, Ante Berčić is sitting in 3rd place with Luka Bozic in 6th. Home course. One of the most spectacular starts in the season of the whole circuit.
So Yuri going down the right-hand line, picking that up really nicely. Nice high exit. Great boat speed in through 2. Textbook exit.
And they've ramped up the level of the volume of the music as well. Everything's in their favour.
Definitely have the support and the advantage on the course. I bet he feels like this is just another training session for him.
With a couple of thousand people sitting on the side and local bragging rights for the next few years. World Cup 4 out of 5. Tacen.
He's just
2 seconds off the pace.
He's a little bit down. He's going to have to paddle this section out.
Oh no!
Just over-rotating there. He's straightened back out. He's back on track. He's got a lot of work to do at the bottom, but it can be done. 72.3. 75.
So that would put him in 3rd place at the moment. And there is an asterisk next to his name. We'll have to see where that comes from. Sidiris Tasiadis is sitting on top with 103.
Yeah, I'd like to see that again on slow-mo, see what happens, see what the judges call on that. Looks good at this finish. He'll have to get this jump absolutely perfect, going down the right-hand side. Not quite enough.
So the 2 Germans dominating this course at the moment. Ante Berčić. However, we do have 3 athletes to go. Alexander Slavkovsky is going to be the last to go. Benji Savchek. But Nicolas Gestin from France, let's see what he can do. Either he's going to be crushed by the nerves or inspired by the atmosphere.
Yeah, the young Frenchman, it'll be, I think this will be a great experience for him, and it's whether or not he can turn this into a winning experience, I suppose. But I suppose when you're in a situation like this, you want to throw down everything you can because you don't get that option all the time. So
Matthew Biazizu, who's going to be competing tomorrow, he looked good yesterday in the heats.
yeah,
No doubt going to be cheering his compatriot down.
Yeah, he looked very comfortable in the water. And be interesting to see how the Frenchman takes the nerves of a World Cup final. And
So here we're going down. Look at that, just 18 years old. How to put yourself on the map.
yeah,
Martin won when he was 16, I think it was in Nottingham 95.
he's looking solid. I think France and Sidiris have him on this top section at the moment. Looking very good. Just moved a little bit wide on that gate. Yeah, he's down on the split. He's going to have to paddle quite hard in this bottom section.
3.7 off, which would put you in 4th place at the moment. But as an 18-year-old in your first international senior final, I'd say it's not bad.
Yeah, I think he's doing incredibly well. And he looked very fast for that midsection.
French is running down on the sidewalk. That's the great thing about this course. There's plenty of space to run down if you want to. Can he pick up some time? Well, 4.5 back. That would put him in 5th place, settling in behind Mardikan. Can he keep it going until the end? Maybe the run of his life.
This is where it matters. If he can get him tied in 19, a little bit low there. He's got to time this jump.
Oh, no. There's 2 seconds. Put you out the medal. Keep it going. Thank you for everyone.
Yeah,
So, Ethan Hodgson, have we seen someone special?
I think so. I think a lot of promise. Well, there's someone with a lot of promise for this afternoon.
In the zone, there's Jess Fox.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he looked very good on the course, especially given it his first World Cup final at the age of 18. Should be very happy with that run.
So it's great to see a lot of the athletes either watching live or watching on air. Next to go is one of the local favourites, Benji Savchek, the world champion. Won here before. Last 2 athletes to go. We know that Sidiris Tassiadis from Germany put down a stomping time of 1:03, which is the quickest of the day, and he's guaranteed himself a medal because there's no appeal going up against him. Well, you can see the timekeepers have some slight protection. Here we go. Telling me earlier, the poster boy for this event.
Yeah, he's definitely the hometown hero, hometown favourite, wearing bib number 2, so he's up there in the ranking. He knows this course extremely well.
And in the last 2 or 3 years, he's really come into his own. He's always known as someone frighteningly fast, but now has decided to go through the middle of the gates.
Yeah, he's developed, I think, that consistency in his paddling, providing himself lots of opportunities to medal in recent years.
But this is not a guarantee because the water level is consistently moving. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not moving consistently.
It's, yeah, inconsistently moving.
Anyway, let's see where he's going to be on the first split. Makes it interesting. It's down.
Yeah.
1.68 off the pace. And Sidiris didn't do much wrong. He went through clear.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit more reserved than the Germans. They both Franz and Sidiris paddled very, very rapidly through that top section and through the entire course, attacking it. So I imagine that Savsek has a lot to give in this bottom section right now.
Coming under the bridge. Crucial second split. He's making time back. Still 1.3 off the pace. That would put him in third.
Just sliding out a little bit there, copying a
2-second
touch.
penalty. That would put him in fifth.
Yeah, I don't see him pouring this one back at the end here.
Well, it's not only the Slovenians and Slovakians out of well.
That was pretty good out of that last up. If he can jump this
Third
nicely.
place is 106.
Oh,
He's taking the speed off. No, that's cost him.
just that little bit of a roll at the end cost him the medal.
But he certainly put on a show.
Yeah, I think he's disappointed, but it was a solid run. Very solid, just came undone at the end.
Well, we do know we're going to have two Germans on the podium. Silius Tasiadis is leading. Franz Anton second. At the moment, it's Anzi Bergic for Slovenia, so there's not going to be that much encouragement for Sasha Alexander Slavkovsky coming down, certainly from the locals.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be quiet around here.
But that's the game.
And Slavkovsky being the fastest in the semi-final, and he looked very, very calm. He'll have to improve on his first run time of today and pull something special out for this second run.
Last athlete to go down in the C1 men's final in the zone. Setting himself up. 3 strokes and then it's over. So 39-year-old Martic and 35-year-old Slavkovsky.
So he's caught up a little bit, I think, in that first move off the wave. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but he's looking very good. Boat's extremely flat. Very fast in that spin move there. See if how he gets across in this wave. Yeah, that's very smooth. I think despite that slight mistake off the start, he could be in touch. He'll be just down in the split, I think.
1.31, which would put him in third place at the moment. So Slavkovsky crucially clear. But so are the other top 3.
So he's opted for the direct on 11, so we haven't really seen that in the final today. Yeah, I think he knows he's got a little bit to make up after that mistake at the top. Very fast in 14.
As he made the time, it was 1.3. The same. He's consistently to the 100th of a second.
Yeah,
Not a word from the Slovenian crowd. Pretty eerie in a way.
Yeah, it's dead quiet, isn't it? And he looked really good in 19. I think he could make it up if he can just jump into this up 18. I mean up 20.
Plants
Sorry.
up. So a medal is a distinct possibility. Can he go for Silius Tasiadis 183?
Not sure if he's going to get there.
Second.
Oh. Yeah, definitely all in those last 2 ups. He looked really good, really tight.
So Silius Tasiadis, massive smile, takes the gold. Alexander Slavkovsky seems to make a speciality of medaling and taking the second this season. And Franz Anton manages to double up for the Germans. We're just pushing out all the Slovenians. It's not what the crowd want.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Franz Anton actually pulling out the run he did after the semi-finals. He looked a little bit scrappier in his first run, so I was really impressed that he was able to come back and snag a bronze medal.
And of course, first to go.
Yeah. So, yeah, very impressive from him. And Sidiris just looked solid the whole run. Had that strength in that bottom section. That fitness regime of the Germans paid off.
Ethan Hotter, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate your insight, your enthusiasm, and obviously your knowledge. And enjoy the rest of the competition.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
here we are with the World Cup gold medalist, Sidiris Tassiadis from Germany. First time you've ever won a medal here, and it's a gold one. Congratulations. What a race.
Yeah, thanks for congratulations. I'm really happy about to race here and to win my third World Cup medal here, or the win. I'm really happy to keep the line so good until the finish line, because it was a hard course here today. It was not so easy to do all the things so pretty good. I tried my best and the time was good, but Safsek was in the semi-final faster than I want to be faster than he.
And it's a good result for you for the World Cup standings.
For the World Cup standings, it's really good for me now. But I think now behind Slavkovsky again, because he have 4 medals in 4 World Cups, and he has so good points until now. And I think 15 points behind him. It will be a good race next weekend.
Congratulations, gold medal, well done.
Thank you.
Back to the action here in the wonderful Tacen super course. Sage, how are you? Sage Donnelly joins me from the US of A to talk us through what's going to happen in the kayak women's. But first of all, let's look at the final classification. So Sidiris Tassiadis takes the gold for Germany, Alexander Stavkovsky takes the silver for Slovakia, and Franz Anton takes the 3rd position, the bronze for Germany. We will have a chance to have a look at the overall standings. And Sidiris Tassiadis knows his stuff. He's just behind Alexander Slavkovsky, with Luka Bozic in 3rd place. It's going to be dramatic with double points next weekend in Saya de Gale in Spain. Sage, have you been watching a little bit?
Oh yes, definitely. I've been watching all the C1 men's, trying to get my lines ready for tomorrow, and got to watch all of the K1 women's semis, and excited to see what they have coming for the finals.
And we're going to see the lineup now. These are the standings after 3 races so far. 60 points for the win. If you can do your mathematics, it means Jess Fox has won all 3 races. Closely followed and chased by Funk, Kunler, Horn and Chayel. Let's see how it's going to be today. This is the starting list for the women's final. Jess Fox so far won all the races, 6 races so far this year, but it is packed with speedy talent, and this is what we want to see.
Yeah, definitely some amazing women out here today. Jess Fox coming in with a fantastic first run in semis, putting her quite in the lead. So excited to see what she has coming up next, and a lot of incredible ladies. A very tricky course that is easy to get offline on, so these women will definitely have to bring their A game, which they always do. So super excited to see what's coming up.
Well, they've had a bit of a chance to look at the conditions. The water level is absolutely perfect today, so we're going to really see the world's top athletes on performing on one of the world's top courses. Here they go. So 3 or 4 strokes. They choose their line, and it's over the big drop. Lisa Leitner from the Austrian Federation. Let's see how she can go.
Super good over the first big drop. I'll tell you, starting right off and going over after a couple strokes is quite crazy and intense, but handling it just fine. Beautiful first 2 gates. Unfortunately taking a touch on 3, but that's not stopping her from having a good smooth line into 4. Fortunately getting a touch, but manages to stay on that wave to get over to 5. Super intense.
That could be expensive, because there may be both careless touches.
Definitely, but as you saw, the times were super spread out in semis, so anything honestly could happen right now.
1:11 was Jess Fox. She was 9 seconds above the field at the split time, and then cruised home.
Coming into the next set of offsets, we've seen him mess up a lot of people today, but little mistake, but manages to keep it pretty clean.
Helmut Obernier and his crew obviously doing something correctly, because 3 of the athletes from Austria have made the A final.
unfortunately 4 penalties, which might cost her, but still a super smooth run on a very hard course right now.
First of 10 to go. We saw Franz Anton for the men going first and finishing up third. Not sure it's going to be the case this time.
Going for a back ferry into the second to last upgate, definitely a different strategy from what we've seen. Struggling a little bit in that last upgate, but brings it around and is charging towards the finish.
It's going to be difficult with 8 seconds of penalties, to be fair. Comes across first out of 10 athletes to go in the final and shakes her head, and great for making the final, but not really the plan A. We saw these athletes on the water about an hour ago, so they've had plenty of chance to dry themselves off a bit, prepare themselves, maybe watch the men.
I don't know how much they can really dry themselves off in this weather today, but
Fair point.
definitely some cold conditions, but at least it has warmed up a little bit. Or maybe I just warmed up because I went paddling. Could be that.
So you're preparing for your C1 tomorrow. Best of luck there. Sage
Thank
Donnelly,
you.
just 18 years old from the States, but obviously a seasoned professional, I suppose, going for a selection, hopefully for Tokyo. This is a great start. It's the big drop. Ros Lawrence first came over here as a junior in 2005. She said she was very tired the morning she came over. Really swallowed quite a lot of water, lost her bib, but kept smiling. And she's been ever present since then. Really at home in the big water. Accomplished in C1 and K1. Let's see how she gets today.
Looks like she's going for that left line. Looks like she might have just went almost over the wall, but keeps an awesome tight line on that first up. Definitely intense on that left line. It seems easier, but that hole is kind of scary.
Ducking in the head has to
loop around twice on 2. But gets right back on it.
She's a great feel for the water, so when plan A doesn't come off, there's always a plan B there.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely important to transition smoothly to your plan B when plan A doesn't go well, and she's also very good at that.
No. So 2 Aussies in the final. Jess Fox will be the last to go.
A little bit behind on that split, but as you've seen, can quite easily be made up in the bottom half of the course, so we'll have to see how it turns out. Ooh, unfortunate touch.
Is that another touch as well? So it's starting to be expensive with 3 or 4 touches.
Definitely. She probably won't be too happy with that, but still a super solid run going on, and I mean, in the finals, so it's all or nothing. Fortunately, still a few seconds back on the split, but with 3 touches, that's still a pretty good time.
So 40 athletes started out. We had the semi-finals early this morning, and now this is where you really have to go for it. With such strong, fast athletes out there, there's no going slowly, and that may be the challenge, is to negotiate the risk-reward.
Oh,
A little bit stuck there. We haven't seen that very often today.
yeah, definitely can. That bottom drop can mess you up quite easily, but a lot of women have managed to keep super good lines through it, and unfortunately just catching that bubble in the eddy a little bit too much. But she's still smiling a little bit, so that's always good.
Lives for the sport. Great climber, by the way. Good ninja warrior as well.
Yeah, super strong all-around athlete.
Two athletes gone. Women's K1 final. Next to go, 2015 world champion Katarina Kudjova from Prague. There's Yuri Priskovic and the other Andre Tunka and the other teammates, great friends. We'll see them in action tomorrow. Here she goes.
Off she goes, one of my favorite paddlers and boat designers. Very pretty, colorful boat. Ooh, tight on the first gate, but decides to go with it. We'll see if judges think that was too tight or not.
Lost a second to say there. Good controlled spin there. Oh, but no, a careless touch.
So hard to keep it clean sometimes, especially when you're trying to push so hard to do well in finals.
And especially because it's all apron, the first two athletes haven't scared them off. Jess Fox did 111 and Lisa Leitner's sitting there at 125.
Oh, and still ahead, even with a touch. Very impressive. Coming down in the offsets, keeping it smooth. Luckily only staying with that one touch so far. Definitely will be helpful towards the end of the course.
Slight shadow here because we're coming under the bridge.
And still ahead by a lot now. Definitely picking it up on the bottom of the course. Really cool.
Katerina Kudyova being at the top of the game for the last 6 or 7 years now. Let's see how she can put down almost certainly the leading time. This is where the lactic starts to hurt in the arms.
Oh yeah. But managing to keep a nice smooth line through the bottom despite being lactic and tired, and puts down a very solid time.
That would put her into 6th place in the semi-finals. Now we're going to have some noise. Next to Gay is Eva Turchel.
The local support crowd not being scared off by the rain today. They've come out in full force.
Well, we're only 15 kilometers from the center of Ljubljana. So it's easily good little camping sites developing by the side of the course. Quite a few of the athletes, friends and family, are staying out there.
Yeah,
there we go, so far. In the zone. Now, this is the one that counts this year. Has won on the circuit.
I have a feeling she's about to deliver in front of her home crowd on a home course. Should be very exciting to see. Coming through the first drop, powering the whole way down. It's super impressive. I usually just float.
The rock music's fully on, and it's a really impressive start.
Beautiful first couple gates, setting up for 3 to 4. Pesky move. Let's see if she can do it. Manages it very nicely.
Trailing the spin, putting herself back in the fast water. Look at the
Gets a
visuals
little
on
bit
the
offline,
face.
but
Oh, did
manages
she
it.
manage to get through there? No, there's a light touch on 7.
As we've seen though, touches might not cost you too much in this course, luckily, so if she can keep it smooth on this bottom half. Still 3 seconds ahead with the touch though.
This is going to be interesting. Jess came down in 1:11. Katerina Kudyova in 1:15, and now it's another. That's 4 seconds of penalties now. Made the final last time here, came 10th. So anxious wait for the family and connections.
Keeping it nice and tight and smooth though on this bottom part. She could still keep the lead, and she does.
Well, I wonder if she's conscious of it. I think with the speaker who's shouting in our ear, but another 2-second penalties. It's going to be really close now. 3 athletes gone so far.
That last touch might cost her, but let's see. She can keep it super smooth through this bottom part.
So Eva Turchel is just out of the lead. Can she take a provisional medal? Well, provisionally, there is an asterisk next to her name. She really cut a few lines there. See how she's going to perform. There's Kauser Senior. Very accomplished paddler, and it's his day.
a little bit disappointed with that run, unfortunately, but still is super amazing to perform in front of the home crowd.
Four gone, 6 to go. Next, 2009 world champion Yasmin Schornberg, who has been setting herself quite a big challenge this year, also going in the C1. And she's often there or thereabouts. Her compatriot Ricardo Funk is going to get afterwards. Champion, who knows in the future?
Here she comes down. Pretty smooth with that top drop, definitely hard to do.
Known for having a great control of the water and knows exactly what she wants to do and where to put her body. That's good so far. Really
Very
good.
good.
Accelerate the boat, keep in the middle.
Manages to surf that wave very nicely. Oh, a little tight, but manages to make that gate, I believe.
This needs to be the head and part of the boat at the same time. Above the water, let's see how that goes. We only had 150th consequence in the semi-final. That put Steffi Horn out, which is nearly 5 seconds up with a 2-second penalty. That makes her 3 seconds up. Given it 2-second penalty.
Choosing to spin gate 12, definitely an interesting tactic right there. But manages to keep it super smooth through all that, so
Quite a
probably
long
a good idea.
30-meter paddle down from 13 to 14.
Very
Quite
long.
sections here. Nearly 3 seconds up. Can she hold it together? Oh no! Now it's going to be interesting. Katerina Kudyeva in at 1:15.49 with 2 seconds of penalties. Yasmin Schornberg has 4 seconds so far. Needs a bit of luck and a bit of skill to go through this last taxing section. .1:15 is the target. You can see in your screen.
Ooh, doesn't keep it
No.
smooth through the hole, unfortunately. But still second, not too bad.
We saw Benji Savchek do the same thing on the other side. So, half the athletes go. There is an asterisk next to her name. I'm guessing it's to examine gate number 10. Katerina Kugyova is still in the lead. And so far, we only have Funk, Wolfhav, Karagil, Kune, and Fox. Maybe the 4 of the fastest athletes on the circuit to come.
Definitely some of my favorites to watch. I'm super excited for this next paddlers for sure.
Let's see what Katerina thinks of the whole thing so far.
Well, here's the current leader. We've had 5 races. Katerina Kuryova. How are you feeling? Are you nervous?
I'm not nervous. It's fine to be. Yeah, it was good because I make so many mistakes, but I am good. It's good because I'm first now, so it's great.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. Good luck.
Thank you.
Katerina Kudyova being very lucid there. Very high expectations. A few highlights of the 5 first athletes in the final in the K1 women's Tacen in Slovenia. This is stage 4 for the 21-18 season. Next weekend we all move down to sunny Spain. Well, let's hope so. And that's Senegal. That's where the Barcelona 1992 Olympics were. And then it's on to Rio, the World Championships. But here is Eva Tuchel in her home course. A little bit disappointed, sitting in 3rd place as we speak. So far, none of the athletes have managed to come down without any faults. What do you put that down to, say, John Lee?
Well, I think the course is definitely challenging, and the women right now are trying to cut the lines as much as possible to go as fast as possible. But unfortunately, with how much this water is changing, it can bite you a little bit. but I think the women have put down super solid runs even without being clean, and I'm sure we will probably be seeing some clean runs in the future for sure.
Well, 5 athletes to go. Everyone is sticking around with their own views of what they've seen so far, what we can see in the future. There's you for the Czech Republic. Yep, there's been a bit of moisture up there, but the organisers have kept it together faultlessly. This is really a great venue. And here we have Ricky Funk from Germany. Really high expectations because she is one of the top athletes in the world. Closes the eyes, knows what she wants to do. Here we go. Giving herself some space really to get some speed up coming over the line. That's the first one we've seen really give a big arc.
She's powering down super fast.
Amazing body to weight ratio. Power I'm talking about. Here we go. So when she comes over the big dip, it's always a bit of excitement and anticipation with a little bit of fear in there, which I suppose is the right balance. Maybe being held up a little bit, do you think?
Maybe a little bit, but I mean, it definitely set her up for 4 nicely, and she's getting a good, strong ferry over, setting up these next gates, so maybe it helped in the long run.
Often deceptively fast.
Very fast. I think Jess and Funk were some of my first slalom paddlers that I actually ever knew about before I was
Well, look at that, 3.35 up.
Wow, incredible. Super good, fast run so far. And knock on wood, clean so far.
Just came 4th last time out here in 2016. We want him to put it back in there. Katarina Kudyova, Yasmin Schornberg, Iva Turchil are the medalists at the moment. A 2-second penalty on gate number 10.
Still going super fast though, not even looking like she's anywhere near out of power yet. It's very impressive. This
2 seconds up still. Having to struggle a little bit there, but the power comes through. Look at the eyes, they're always really looking ahead.
Beautifully clean, awesome run so far. She should be super happy with this.
Keeping in between the middle of the poles as well.
Always important to keep it in the middle of the poles. You start head ducking, that's when it gets risky.
Gritting the teeth for the last move.
And coming
really
to the
close.
finish line, super close. Second by barely anything, oh my gosh.
Katarina Kudyova, one of the first to go. Didn't sound too optimistic in the half-time interview, but holding on to it. Ricky Funk goes into 2nd place. Well, bye-bye for Iva Turchil.
Unfortunately, not probably the result of the local girl wanted, but still very awesome performance, and should be stoked going into SEO for sure.
So always, once you've done your best, you look forward, I guess.
Oh yes, for sure. Try not to dwell on the bad stuff.
So next to go, Vicky Wolfhardt. 2 Austrians to go. Here she is, concentration. Very accomplished in C1 and K1. Today it's K1. Switched it around 2 years ago. It was the opposite direction, not direction, the opposite order rather. Here we go.
And a little bit of lightning to start off Vicky's run, showing that she's about to bring a storm, I'm sure. Pulling it through the first stop beautifully. It's absolutely terrifying to start with such a big thing, but handling it awesome and coming into gate 3.
Looking to handle it well. I was speaking with Helmut Oberliga, the team leader, a couple of days ago, and he said, well, I'm expecting to have 3 of the athletes in the women's final, and they're doing something right. Really competitive there. Small team, but well done. And she's looking good so far.
Definitely a small team, but they're all absolutely amazing paddlers. Their C1 women, K1 women, and their men, all very, very strong. Always performing in finals.
6 seconds up.
Semis. Wow. And there is showing the strength.
That's good.
Very good. I'm sure she'll be happy with that. Getting a little bit stuck, but that shouldn't affect her too much, especially if she keeps these next ones clean, which she does manage to do.
Really gritting her teeth, accelerating below us.
Definitely a hard spot between 13 and 14 to try to grit through and paddle as hard as you can. Definitely starting to feel the
Well,
elastic
still
down
over
there.
5 seconds up, being held back maybe a couple of seconds there. Still has the space. So far it's Kudjeva, Funk and Schoenberg. We had 2 Germans in the men's C1. Can we have 2 Germans in the women's K1? He thinks not.
Comes into the last up, manages to keep it very smooth. That eddy's super boily and weird, so hard to keep it fast.
This is going to be
Managed keep it
beating
through
for the
bottom
first place.
drop.
Oh no, it's tightly held up. It's going to be, look at that,
Keeps it smooth
2.39
and has
ahead.
a beautiful run and clean. That was amazing. She's happy with that. Comfortably
Great
ahead and only a couple seconds off Jess's semi-final time. So
we
that's
say
got to feel good.
goodbye to Yasmin Schoenberg. Well, be told to get on until your replacement comes. Great run
Replay
there.
so tight against those gates, keeping it super fast. Wow.
So down to instinct. Ukraine team saying hello. Well, there's a big introduction for a very strong athlete. It's Ursa Kadiel, the last opportunity for Slovenia to claim a medal. Double World Cup overall standings going back 7 or 8 years now, winner.
And she definitely has the strength and capability to bring home a medal for Slovenia. Let's see what she has here.
You can just hear the buzz.
So many locals here cheering her on. Gets a little low in two, but manages to keep the boat running, which is always good. So sure she won't be too affected by that. Struggles to get the wave a little bit as it pulsed out right before she tried to get on it, but still goes through those gates beautifully. Super solid run so far.
Ducking the pace. A little bit off the pace there at the moment. Well, 5 seconds off the pace.
Yes,
But-
but as we've seen, you can make all that up in this bottom section for sure.
Ricky
We'll have
Funk
to
in
see.
third, who's only 3 seconds off. There's a Gretschel for Slovenia. Has she made any time up? Looking very solid. She was 4 seconds off the pace. Where is she now? Well, 3.2. If you keep this going, there's a medal at her hands.
Making up a little bit of time, being a little tight there, but still super smooth and managing to keep it clean, which is very good right now.
So much extra pressure and expectations on the Slovenian athletes.
Very nice upstream there, though, showing that she really knows this course.
Bit of wobble on the top of the part, but it's really faultless in the bottom section. It really needs to pull hard.
And it'll be tight. And
second place.
Wow. Very impressive run.
So there is an asterisk next to her name, and it's clean. So it's not going to be positive. They're flying through the water. Let's keep an eye on that. Victoria Wolfhard is 1:13 and clear. So far, Ursa Krajel is 1:14 and clear. Katerina Kudjova, 1:15 with 2 seconds. Connie, it's Karina Kunle from Austria, the third Austrian athletes to go down today. She went down last 2 years ago and came second. Let's see how it's going to happen today. There's 2 athletes to go with Jess Fox for last down.
Super strong, amazing paddler right here. She knows how to tell that water what to do. She's powering down the drop. catches her stern a little bit, but still keeps it smooth. I feel like on this course it's very important, even if you do catch something or slightly offline, just to push as hard as you can and just try to get back online as best as possible, and it should still work out.
So far, clear. You can see where she's going to be on the split.
Clear and driving super fast.
The asterisk is still on the name of Ursula Krajel. Well, very much in touch. A second back, there's Vicky Wolfhard in the picture. They're clearly watching the same pictures as us.
Wow, and keeping it tight but very smooth, knowing exactly where those gates are so she can lean back and avoid them. Very nice.
So far, very controlled one, I'd say.
Oh, very controlled, very strong.
The rain's starting to come down very heavily. Not sure it's going to affect her, but 1.36 up now.
Luckily, I'm sure she's already gotten splashed enough so she won't even feel the rain.
Safely round 19. Safely round 20. This is looking frighteningly good.
Beautiful bottom section.
21. Can't she get
She's
the right
driving
wave?
down.
This is looking really good.
Wow. Beautiful run. That was amazing. Over 5 seconds in the lead now. That is definitely a run she was looking for.
And crucially, 4 seconds faster than Jess Fox did in the semi-final. There's only one athlete that could do better than Connie. There is an asterisk next to her name there. We still have an asterisk next to the name of Ursula Krajel. So Karina Kunle provisionally in the lead. If it's only a 2 second, then there's no problem. One athlete to go. Can't state how much she's impressed the field this season so far. It's Jess Fox from Australia. She's won all 3 World Cups, not only in K1 but in C1 as well. And you can see how fast the rain is coming down.
Jess Fox definitely having her year this year. She's been paddling absolutely incredibly. If anyone can pull down a faster time than a 107, it's definitely her. We'll have to see.
Well, she had plenty of space in the semi-finals, but these conditions are fairly dramatic. There's no wind, which is important.
Yes, racing with no wind is definitely better. I'll take rain over wind any day.
Well, the first section is good.
Definitely. Beautiful first up, keeping them tight and on backstrokes.
And you can see there's a little bit more oomph there from the last run.
Yeah, I think she definitely is going to be pushing as hard as she can, more as on her first run. I think she was more cruising and just trying to be solid, so.
So far, so good. Crucially, 2.2 seconds out. That's what the crowd likes.
Wow.
So the other athletes just looking on with a smile on their faces saying, we're witnessing something special here. Can she hold it together? Or can she accelerate,
like she
pull
can.
away from the other? Coming in front of us. 7 gates to go. Punting off, knows exactly what to do, how to do, and when to do it. 1.38, it's going to be close.
Keeping the lead. Can she hold it together on the last few gates?
Incredibly fit athlete, but blowing hard. Here she goes. Come across. Looking good as well. Well, there's no noise because Ursula Krajel was in 3rd place. The people want to see the best athletes of the generation mess up today.
It'll be tight.
Oh, it's
Can
gonna
she
be really
pull it
tight.
together?
No,
Wow.
but there's delight in there.
Still a super incredible run from Jess, and I mean, she did win the first 3 races or World Cups in both K1 and C1, so I think she'll still be pretty happy with the second place, still getting a medal, but I'm sure she'll come back even stronger for Liceo.
Well done. Austria 1, Austria 3. All the aspects have come off, and Australia, Jess Fox, coming down in extreme conditions. Faultless run. Shows how good Karina Kunle was. The determination and the force.
Jess always happy at the bottom of her runs no matter what happens. Really, really cool to see.
Well, what's great about this is we're seeing times 4 seconds faster than anything that's put down in the semi-finals.
Yes, the ladies definitely bringing their A game
Well,
for this
the first
final.
time this year we have a new World Cup gold medalist, Karina Kunle. That was incredible. Well done. You must feel fantastic.
Yeah, I think everyone came here and trying to beat Jess really, and yeah, it was a tough weekend racing, but I'm happy now. This result, obviously.
And that's a really tough course today. Did you feel comfortable with the race?
Yeah, I mean the course is really tough. It's tricky, but I think that's what we're here for, and we're the best canoeists in the world. So I think it's good that we are challenged.
Congratulations. Enjoy the moment.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well done, all the athletes taking on this course. So Sage Donnelly, we've seen some really outstanding paddling today.
Some incredible paddling, some very, very fast times. Amazing to see all these ladies pushing it so hard and really delivering today.
Thanks so much for taking time out of your schedule. Only 18 years old, you've got another enormous amount of time to work on perfection. Good luck with the qualifications for the Tokyo Olympic Games. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
(1:07.94) in these conditions. All the top 4 athletes came through the course without any penalties. To give you the confirmation of the official results from today's K1 Women final at Tacen. Karina Kunle takes the gold medal for Austria, Jess Fox the silver for Australia, and Vicky Wolfhard takes the bronze for Austria. Local girl Ursa Krajin just missing out. Let's have a look at the overall World Cup standings now after 4 World Cups. 1 to go next weekend in Sede Gale. Double point. Jess Fox, look at that. Huge lead, but not unsurmountable, is leading Karina Kunle with Ricky Funk, Erika Turtle, Vicky Wolfhard. So most of the athletes we've seen today have been enhancing their leads. Double points next weekend, remember, so the winner's going to have 120 points. So I hope you've enjoyed watching it. We certainly had a great time. Wonderful course, wonderful organisation, great athletes. And we will catch you, follow us on social media. We'll catch you a little bit later, and tomorrow the whole situation will start again. back in the best of the action today. All over again tomorrow. So thanks for watching and speak to you later.